It's been 11 years, and we wake up every morning, every second of every day with our moms, replaying everything over and over.
A lot of people that have missing cases and stuff, you know, you see them for a while, then you don't see them anymore. I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stop.
Tuesday, December 7th, 2010, 2:42 p.m. Juanita and Paula's mother, Pauline Diaz, left work at an H-E-B in San Antonio. The next night, Juanita went to Paula's house
and told me they couldn't find my mom, but they found her truck. And right at that moment, I felt that was it. She was gone, because mom doesn't ever disappear. Everything just, I felt like I took a bullet to my heart, and tunnel vision. Everything went black.
But they were sure she wouldn't have left on purpose.
Her phone was in her house.
It turns out Pauline's estranged husband had visited her minutes before she was last seen.
At the grocery store at 2:30, whispering in her ear.
They say Pauline left her work area in a rush. It was in disarray, but she clocked out and walked out with that man. Surveillance footage shows her speaking to a woman on the way out.
It took us, 8 years to find. We kind of sleuthed in and found who that person.
You've been sleuthing on that?
Yes.
We've been doing a lot of private investigating.
And we have gotten leads to where people say they seen her at a Walmart gas station with a man, and they have even gone as far as to that house, and it turns out wrong identity.
After more than a decade, they still believe that the estranged husband holds the clues.
She wanted a divorce. He wouldn't give it to her. He wouldn't give it to her. She moved out, went back to her original home, and he kept stalking her. He kept stalking her, you know, following her, going everywhere she went, you know, as well as my daughter. He was also calling my daughter, you know, but once she went missing, everything stopped. He changed his number. He didn't go look for her, nothing. And this is why we're here, because his son lives here, and I want the son to see that this is not going to go away.
If I have to live with this memory, that man is going to live with this memory also. It's not going to fade.
If it was one of us, she would do the same. And I will do everything in my power to the day I die to get our answers.
Welcome all my Fox 26 sleuths for another episode of The Missing Live. This week we're talking about the story you just watched, Pauline Diaz, whose family made their way to Houston in their search to try to find her, and they joined me live tonight so you can have a chance to ask questions. Juanita and Paula, who have been so incredibly strong, you can see it there in the story that they shared with us, and joining us now to answer some of the questions about this case. So this is your mother was at work, broad daylight, typical day in the life, and then she vanishes. And the thing that keeps catching so many people when I talk to them about this case is that her estranged husband had just come in and whispered something in her ear. Was that the only suspicious thing that happened that day?
Actually, go ahead.
It had he had been escorted several times out of that HEB because he was harassing her and he
Wow.
would go and sit at the little coffee break table and stare at her also. And so there was some stuff that was happening within the store,
Wow.
where he would go in and yeah, and they did say that they saw him in the parking lot after.
Where surveillance also saw her in the parking lot as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
So did surveillance see them leave together?
No, they did
I
not
don't
leave
think
together.
so, no. It was just her talking to a lady. She was curious about her truck. There was a lady there with her. And from then on, I don't know who really got in her truck. I don't know if it was her or someone else. And we never saw her again.
You found the truck, though.
But we did find the truck. We found the purse. She hid the purse under the seat, and her purse was there. But it's just not her.
It's just not like her. And every expert that we've spoken with and worked with in this series says that when a family member knows that this just isn't like them. In fact, I just interviewed a woman today who said that when she worked with law enforcement, they said, oh, well, sometimes people, they wander off or they go somewhere, and family knows. Family knows. So we have a couple questions already popping up. Those of you who are watching, the way this works, you are welcome to hop into the comments if you're watching on our Fox 26 Facebook page. It's one of the easiest ways to ask a question in the comments, but you can ask questions. They're here to answer, to help you dig into the case with them. George, he's one of our regulars. George, you're always here for the streams, and he wants to know if the estranged husband was brought in for questioning by police.
Yes, he was, and he failed the lie detector.
He failed the lie detector.
Yes.
Wow. But then what happened from there? Anything further?
Well, he has 12 hours unaccounted for also.
From that day.
That day. He had been harassing her on the phone continuously. And, but that Tuesday, December 7th, he stopped. We didn't even know she was missing. Yeah, she was supposed to be getting off of work and coming home. And my son said that, because he lives right next door, that our little dog was barking up a storm, and he heard something like, it was unusual. He did not know whether it was a school bus that was dropping off kids, but it sounded like cats screaming, but then he heard something like, leave me alone.
Whoa.
And he looked out the kids over my mom's house, but he said he didn't see anything. And then he got ready, left for school, So we don't know what actually.
So where is the estranged husband now? Because you mentioned he has family in the Houston area, but do you know where he is?
He lives here in the San Antonio.
He's in San Antonio.
Okay.
He was residing in Pleasanton because he divorced my mom 2 years after my mom went missing, and he married another woman, but now he's divorced, so he's living elsewhere.
I have another question coming in from Lisa. She wants to know if there were any fingerprints lifted from the truck. So in terms of that part of the investigation, Juanita, can you talk about how the truck was handled once it was found?
It would be Paula to talk because it was her truck, so she knows more about that.
Okay, so how was that handled?
That was handled. They did do the prints. I was using that vehicle from January all the way to July of 2010. I used to use it to go to work, and they found only one fingerprint of mine on the back window where I would put my tag at my place for my parking lot, However, my mom would not let him ever drive the truck, and she had already moved out of his, out of her mobile home that she purchased that was there in Floresville. She had already moved that October 2010 and moved back to her home in Bexar County, which is right next door to my house. And she cleaned that truck immaculately because she said she didn't want anything to do with that man. And she wiped it down super clean. Well, that's what they found. His fingers all in that truck. And they say that because they were married, those fingerprints actually, you know,
Make sense or
should
would
be there.
Ooh, all right. Well, so
April, August, and only one finger.
so where is he considered a suspect, person of interest? Do you know the status of that? And I've reached out to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. I'm literally awaiting an email back from them, hoping to hear confirmation. But what is the status of any suspects, persons of interest, and so forth?
So far as I know,
Is
it's
the-
just him
Just
as
him.
a person of as a person of interest. As of now, is what we know. He's still the person of interest. And I also want to just mention that on the day before she went missing, he did call my daughter and told my daughter that he was going to give, which my daughter would call her Nana, he was going to give her Nana what she wanted, and that he was going to leave her alone.
That is a very ominous thing to say.
And from then, we never saw her again.
We have a question. Lisa's really into this. She wants to know, what was his alibi?
Paula, what was his alibi?
Paula, what do you know? What it was
So
his
what?
alibi? Where did he say he was?
Can you hear me?
Paula, can you? Yeah, we can hear you. Do you know what the alibi was that was given? Oh, all right, we lost Paula there for a moment.
Okay, well, what I know is that my understanding was that my mother went to the movies with her friends in Floresville. My mother has no friends in Floresville. That she left her truck there to go with her friends to watch a movie in Floresville, which we knew that wasn't true. Then one of his daughters mentioned that she took the bus somewhere. There was no bus out there. So we know that is not true.
It's just not adding up. It's just not adding up.
No.
So we have another question here from Lauren, who wants to know whether the ex-wife of the estranged husband was ever talked to in the investigation, whether he revealed something.
Not to my knowledge. I'm not sure if she has been spoken to by the detectives or anybody. I don't know which the ex-wife, because he was married first. He was married to his kid's wife, then my mother, and then he remarried.
So the woman he remarried to, was she questioned?
He married to, the last one after my mom, I'm not sure if she was ever questioned. Do you know, Paula?
Yeah, we're not sure.
And a lot of times police aren't able to say, or they don't reveal that kind of stuff. You're getting so much love, by the way, in the comments, ladies. So right now, Sasha Armstrong has a question asking what evidence police seem to be waiting on that would lead them to maybe move forward and going from person of interest to suspect. What is missing? What's not there?
They need a confession, either by him or by someone, or they need her whereabouts and her body. They need a body.
That's what police are telling you?
Yes. We need a body, and we need a confession in order to move on.
Well, what for you?
Yeah, I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know exactly what piece of that puzzle they need, because they will not disclose anything. So yeah, we don't know, and that's what we're trying to find out as to what is lacking? What is the smoking gun that they need, that they keep claiming, they use that phrase, they need the smoking gun. And, but apparently he's not confessing to anything, and he denies that he had anything to do with it. However, also, he did have the back door to my mom's house. He had the key. My mom
Huh.
never changed the.
So he arguably had access to the home.
Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
All right, Lisa's
And
coming
he
in
did-
hot with more questions for you ladies. Lisa wants to know about the cell phone. We often get asked about the cell phone, especially nowadays, more recent cases. It's much easier to get access to cell phone records or get on someone's account. But this was 11 years ago, so technology was different. Tell us if there's any information. Did she have a phone? Was any information covered from it?
She did have a phone. She had a pop-up phone, the one that you prepay the minutes. And
Mhm.
at the time, I had told her, when she was going through this trouble with her estranged husband, I told her, Mom, we need to go get you a phone, a real phone. She didn't want a real phone. She's like, no, I'm fine. I can just pop up my minutes. I don't use it, only for emergencies. And I said, no, Mom. I said, you need a phone. We were going to go get a phone. So the only phone that she had at the time was the little flip pop-up minute phone.
Mhm.
And that was found at her house. It wasn't with her. And that's unusual because she would carry the phone with her when she would go to work. She would carry a little notebook to write her little notes for work, her time, her lunch. She always kept track of her hours. And she would keep that in her back pocket of her jeans. She would carry her phone, carry her keys in her pocket. And she was always prepared, ready to whatever were to come up.
So it's just not like her to leave her purse under the seat of the car and leave the car behind, or just none of this was in
No.
character. The couple people are asking for those of you in the comments asking about the name of the estranged husband. I'm not going to ask them to share that here on the live stream, just because he's not technically a suspect. But if you go to our article, there's information on where you can reach out to these ladies directly if you do want to get more involved in the case, if you do want to ask more questions. So for those of you asking, understandable, and I am as eager as you guys to figure out what's going on. But you are just getting so many prayers and so much love. We've talked about that there was some surveillance footage that helped you guys know that she had left and gone into the parking lot. But London wants to know about any other cameras, red light cameras or anything else. I know back 10 years ago, there weren't as many, but was there any other footage recovered?
Not to my aware.
Not that you know of. So
No.
if police have it,
Yeah.
hasn't been given to you yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have some people, lots of prayers in the comments, lots of people whose hearts just break for you. Ours as well. When I shared a little teaser of this story, I got messages from friends of mine in San Antonio saying, I remember this case. It really stuck with people because I think all of us can feel the pain of just imagining broad daylight and just no answers from there. So for you, where are you searching for the next clue, the next thing that would unlock this for you?
Mine is just keep putting our flyers to wherever this person, family members of them are around, and continue pushing what we want. All we want is, we want her back. We want our mom back. And if it's just her remains, let us know where she's at. We need to put her to rest. If she's alive and they have her hiding, let her know where she's at so that we can get her help. That's all that the family is asking for.
And
I don't care about any of the people that were involved. My thing is to bring her home. I want to know where her whereabouts are and just bring her home. The rest,
the P.O. box on the screen is where you guys can send tips and information. This P.O. box is run by the family, but you said that you don't open it. You don't look at what's sent in.
No, I don't.
Where do you give the tips that come in? Where would they go?
I would give it to the detective. I will call the detective and I will meet him or take it to the downtown and give it to him there, wherever he's at.
All right. And then here's the phone numbers for those of you who want to call. If you're just joining us or if you missed anything, a reminder that you can watch this video again on our Facebook page and our YouTube page for Fox 26. You can share this video for others who want to learn more. And of course, you can go to our website where we have information on our web story. It's an in-depth article. And then there's also information on other sites as well. But here you go. You guys can log on. You guys can follow this case. And we're going to be following you, keeping up with the family as we hope to hear something. I mean, this article, again, was our most popular on our website, or one of the most popular for the day after the story originally aired. The story has aired several times. So I know some of you have watched it and you're just getting so many prayers. We join you guys and your family in prayers. We appreciate you coming on. I know it never gets any easier to do this. So thank you so much to Paula, to Juanita, and to all of you who logged on and continue to help us sleuth. So everyone have a great evening. We have some major news coming for the missing, some major things happening. So please stay tuned, stick with us. If you want to go watch the other lives that we've done in this series, you can go to the Fox 26 YouTube channel and you can find them all there. Just look up The Missing Live. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for helping us get attention. London saying this needs national attention. We agree, which is why we're doing our part here at Fox 26. And now it's on all of us to share, spread the word. I know it's not the most exciting thing or the, sexiest thing to post about, but man, is it impactful, if nothing else, to show these incredible young women that they are not alone in their search for their mother, and that other families who are searching can know that there are people who will care about them too. So ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're praying for you. We're thinking about you, and we will keep in touch, keep us posted, and we will do the same. And everyone can, that web article, that's where you're going to be able to find all the updates. So make sure you check it out there. So everyone have a great evening. Thanks so much.
Thanks.